Don't you ever see old people and think to yourself, damn, that shit sucks. Could never be me though. Believe it or not, these guys didn't spawn like this. You couldn't tell by looking at their sagginess, but they used to be normal humans too, just like you and me. Once upon a time, they were the new kids in town. They also never thought they would become old because they lived in the future. They were the future. But unfortunately, they were forced to play the same game we all do, and the price of entry is your youth. Growing old is almost like a Greek tragedy to me. Being given this gift of life, a taste of heaven, yet slowly over time it is taken away from you, only to be left with the dust of your bones. Now ever since I was born, hey, I've been a young guy. I cherish my youth. I love my youth. That young, dapper femboy in the reflection, smiling at me, is the person I know. I'll always see him. He'll always be there for me, I think to myself. It might be this naivete that makes me unable to see the future where I'm old. One day, I'll wake up to see a different person. The illusion of the forever young will fall on gray hair and frail skin. And that's if I'm lucky enough to have hair. Wrinkles in a tired body will remind me that I'm just like everyone else, made of the same flesh that time eats away. My back will hurt just a little bit more. My time on earth will be just a little less. I'll be a prisoner of my body, a young mind inside a withered prison. Soon, in the reflection, the men will smile further, and we will both be looking for the young man. My father once told me, in classic random words of wisdom while I was still in diapers, there's 4 stages to life, Bubby. 20 years growing, 20 years maturing, 20 years aging, 20 years in decline. I've asked him recently where the quote comes from, but he says he came up with that. If he actually came up with that, that's pretty fucking fire. But it probably comes from some philosophy book he read though. Blame my mushy little pink brain, but to me, it kind of feels like there's only 2 stages. Growing and declining. I was born, and ever since I've been dying. Pretty emo, I know. And to be honest, I don't know if I believe what I say entirely, but I would be a liar if I said there wasn't some truth to it. I get that it's a bit melodramatic, but it is how I feel. It may seem like my gripes with aging are purely superficial and a little shallow, and I don't blame you for thinking that, but I don't think that's entirely the case. Maybe my hatred towards aging is the whole subtle, unnerving reminder of my mortality. Ever since I was little, I've always been afraid of dying, which then ended up developing into a fascination with death. I mean, it is the ultimate question, because no one will truly know the answer until it's too late. I want to believe that there's something beyond death, but I don't. To me, after death lies infinite nothingness. That thought makes me feel uneasy. I'm still afraid of death. I don't want to die. I still have so much left to do. But my biological clock will stop ticking, whether I like it or not. I have high hopes for the future. Will it be kind in return? I just don't know. The dreamer could wake up to a wasteland he once knew as fertile possibilities. A disappointing reality. I've watched my little sisters grow up. I've always told them, bro, you better not grow up. They didn't keep their end of the promise, but to be fair, neither did I. It saddens me to remember them as little babies I used to hold in my arms. Nowadays, they just say I fell off. My parents, though they don't look like it, are getting older and won't be here forever. The same could be said for my friends. Some could just disappear. They could move away to another city or another promise and just lose contact. Nothing is promised. Personally, I don't want to have children. I don't want a baby that's like me, nor do I want to force a little guy to live. When I have the time, I like to go to the food court to eat and write. One thing I noticed is the abundance of elderly people, slightly hunched, slowly eating their food all alone. Once finished, they stay there, looking around, almost like this is their social activity for the day. Maybe that's the reason why old people like to strike conversation with randos, or why some are miserable fucks. At a certain age, you're no longer useful. No one cares for you. The future doesn't seem homely. But hopefully, things will be coming up Millhouse for good old Bubby Boy here. My main plan is to blow up, as to be rich enough to spoil my family and my army of 20 cats or more. I'm not much of a materialistic person, but money goes fucking hard because it can buy the most important thing: freedom. Freedom to do what you want, freedom to answer to no one, freedom to do nothing. With a garden in my backyard where a big ass tree will tower over my 5'4" gnome build, I'll do art, I'll daydream my days away underneath its shade. And maybe, since it's my dream, maybe throwing a hot girlfriend or maybe 6 girlfriends, I don't know. Yeah, that would be pretty neat. But you see, even in that utopia, I don't see an old man, I see me. But I won't have the energy, the able body I have now. Simple tasks won't be so easy. My body could fall to a horrible disorder that permanently changes the person I am. I could lose a leg. I could lose my favorite left leg. But one thing's for sure. Time will lap me. The world I was born in will no longer exist. I'll become a relic, a simple echo. Above all else, I won't have my mother's comfort or my father's light anymore. These things don't make sense to me. I hate that I'm slowly aging every year and there's nothing I can do to stop it. I hate that every year I have to blow one more candle. I hate that I'm slowly rotting away. What will happen to the happy me? Time will happen. Time will have the last laugh. Now, I know I'm being a bit overdramatic. Decline is only when you're really old. This is all a slow process, and time will make sense of it. But in my head, it's everything all at once. I think about it over and over and over again, and I'm stuck. Slowly, then all at once, I'll be the old fuck who kids look at and say to themselves, "Don't you ever see old people and think to yourself, damn, that shit sucks. Could never be me though."